We're calling this half hour Harvest Interrupted because that's exactly what is happening on farms across America. Some workers here without their papers are either getting deported or they're not showing up anymore. Other workers who have legal status are afraid they'll be deported anyway, putting themselves or their families at risk, as we've been hearing all across the Scripps News Group.
Well, the other day when things got a bit harder, some didn't come in. They didn't come in out of fear. But we can't stop coming in because you know yourself. People need the money to eat, to pay rent, and so they take a risk.
The loss of farm workers is already having an impact on produce prices, not to mention the threat of tariffs on imported produce from Mexico and Canada. Experts now saying for every million people deported, tens of thousands of jobs held by U.S. citizens will be lost too. We went inside a farm whose owner recently went public about what she thinks could happen to our nation's food supply if farm workers continue to get deported. Lisa Tate is no stranger to life on a farm.
My family came to Ventura County in 1876.
She's a sixth-generation farmer. I met her on a property purchased by her great-grandfather in the 1920s. The crops grown here, like the lemons, get exported globally.
All out over the country, throughout the world, so they'll be in Walmart and Costco and Albertsons and all the stores in between.
But in recent months, Tate's day-to-day has changed, interrupted by the federal government's immigration enforcement in the region. Her properties haven't been targeted, but the activity so concerning to her, she penned this opinion piece in the local paper, calling what's happening un-American, saying she originally supported efforts to remove individuals with serious criminal histories from the community, now saying it appears to be less about public safety and more about intimidation.
I feel like the rules keep changing, but regardless, I mean, the people that are showing up every day to work, working 2-3 jobs, they don't have time to be out there, you know, conducting their criminal activities on the side.
In Tate's opinion, most Americans have no idea where their food comes from.
I think that we have the luxury of Americans to not have to think about that. So I don't think most people do. I think our food just shows up in the grocery store.
She also thinks they don't realize the powerful workforce fueling the industry. Once considered essential during the pandemic, now the target of federal agents.
You had the benefit of undocumented workers for your probably entire life, and every single person in America benefits from undocumented workers.
En este país tengo
Miguel, who asked us not to show his face, works in Ventura County. He's lived in the U.S. for 30 years.
¿Disfruta usted del trabajo? ¿Qué es lo que más le gusta de este trabajo?
Lo que más me gusta.
When I asked him what he loves most about his job, he says the agriculture itself and the fact that every day is different.
¿Puede usted trabajar tranquilo?
No.
He says working isn't peaceful anymore. He now works in fear.
Nos afecta moralmente.
And the enforcement, he says, is affecting their morale, affecting families who he's seen be torn apart. This region, a part of California's agricultural contribution to the nation. Over a third of the country's vegetables and over 3/4 of the country's fruits and nuts are grown in the state. Tate says there's been a worker shortage for decades, even before this immigration enforcement, and says instead of the current approach, there needs to be a solution.
The agricultural industries have been lobbying for decades for a worker program that will work.
The U.S. does currently have a seasonal farm worker visa program called the H-2A visa, the legal way, if you will. But Tate says it's costly and not practical. And if meaningful immigration reform doesn't happen soon, Tate feels we could all soon be paying the price.
For sure, there will be fruit that doesn't end up harvested.
Reporters, including our White House correspondent Haley Bull, have asked the Trump administration to respond to these concerns. Here's some of what Trump recently said.
I'm never going to do anything to hurt our farmers. And you could also say the leisure business, etc. There are some businesses where you have a disproportionate amount of people that are the people that you're talking about. At the same time, we have to get the criminals out of our country. And we're looking at doing something where, in the case of good, reputable farmers, they can take responsibility for the people that they hire.
Ahead, more of our special coverage, the impact of these raids just beginning to be felt, and a Scripps News Group investigation into where some of these people are being taken before they're deported.